The general election result in Winchester has been declared void by the High Court. It's the first time anything like this has happened in British politics for almost 90 years. The former Conservative MP, Gerald Malone, had challenged the result after losing the seat to Mark Oaten of the Liberal Democrats by just 2 votes. The court accepted that officials had failed to stamp 55 ballot papers which could have swung the result in Mr Malone's favour. A by-election will now be held.
Gerald Malone, in the blue tie, emerging victorious from the High Court. 2 judges accepted his argument that the election he lost on May the 1st was void. He can now fight the seat again.
Well, I'm delighted. It vindicates us starting this petition. It's been conceded by all the parties in court today. What it means is that on the 2nd of May, we won Winchester. And unfortunately, because of mistakes in the way in which the poll was handled, we weren't actually declared the winners. That's something that now needs to be put right.
Those mistakes emerged during 3 nail-biting counts at Winchester. 55 ballot papers were excluded from the total because they weren't perforated with a security mark. It's now known that if they had been counted, Gerald Malone would have won by 2 votes. Because they weren't, Mark Oaten won the seat for the Liberal Democrats. He polled 26,100 votes, just 2 ahead of the Conservatives. Labour got a crucial 6,500 votes, and an independent candidate, who also called himself a Liberal Democrat, got a surprisingly large total of 640. Labour said today it was highly likely their candidate would stand again. Although they may not put in a lot of money or effort into the campaign, it's thought the party wouldn't want to squeeze the Liberal Democrat vote and let in the Conservatives. But far from being downhearted at having to fight a by-election, Mark Oaten was confident of taking on all comers and holding the seat.
I'm very pleased that the judges have decided to let the people of Winchester decide this. It was always our view that a by-election should be held. That was the fairest way of resolving this, and I look forward with relish to fighting that by-election and standing on my record as Winchester's MP.
It's the first time the High Court has effectively ordered a parliamentary by-election since 1910.
That by-election is expected sometime before Christmas. It won't be called until the House of Commons resumes at the end of this month, and in the meantime the court's judgment means that Mark Oaten remains the MP for Winchester. Joshua Rozenberg, BBC News at the High Court.
Labour and Liberal Democrat officials in Winchester have ruled out a deal in contesting the by-election. Our correspondent Duncan Kennedy has been to Winchester to see how all the parties are preparing for their 2nd election in a year.
In a seat divided by 2 votes, the 3 main parties were today quick to refocus attention on one goal, the forthcoming by-election. After the High Court decision, each believes it can win. Most of the electorate see another contest as inconvenient, but fair.
It was too near the edge, wasn't it, I think, and I would like to see it redone.
Maybe another election will actually sort it out once and for all. Let's hope it does.
No major party here is officially campaigning yet, and the Liberal Democrats, who were the victors in May, say there's no chance of a deal with Labour to keep the Conservatives out.
Where the Labour Party suggests something that we agree with, we will support it. But there's no deal, and certainly we wouldn't expect them to come to us, and we shan't be going to them.
Labour agrees, saying although they trailed 3rd to the other main parties in May, they won't be joining forces with the Liberal Democrats.
I can see no possible purpose in it, because it's only ever suggested one way round. I don't recall any suggestion the Liberals withdrew from the Uxbridge by-election, so there's no earthly reason why we shouldn't have a Labour candidate here.
All that, of course, won't upset Conservatives. Just 2 short last time, they believe that will be reversed in a by-election.
We don't really worry too much about what the other parties, how they're going to deal with an election. We will be fighting our own campaign, and we will just get on and do our own campaign.
With that kind of confidence clear in all 3 main political parties, the by-election promises to be as close as the one fought in May itself. It will also, of course, turn into a public opinion poll on the standing of all the national parties just a few months after the landmark general election. Duncan Kennedy, BBC News.